guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 BMW 430i xDrive convertible. And a huge thank you to BMW of Wesley Chapel in Wesley Chapel, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have a beautiful and expanding dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car in the Florida area, I would definitely suggest checking them out. So for those of you guys who don't know, the 4 Series has been a part of BMW's lineup since 2013. It ended up taking over the 3 Series Coupe platform. And here for 22, we have the second year of the second generation of the 430i. The 430i, of course, starts at around $45,000 for an extra $2,500 to get the xDrive, and this convertible version of the xDrive 430i is going to have a base price sitting around $55,000. So, what do we get for that money as far as the exterior styling? Let's jump right in. This 430i is going to come equipped with the Shadowline package. That gives us these beautiful headlights with the black headlight housing, LED daytime running strips, and beautiful projector LED headlights. Down here we have an LED fog light as well, functional air curtain, and full parking sensing on this 430i. As far as this kidney style grille, you can love it or hate it. I personally think it looks pretty good with the black trim outside of it. I can definitely see why some people don't like it, especially when it's outlined in chrome. But for this black trim, I think it looks pretty good. As we come towards the intercooler and radiator, you guys can pick up 2 cross supports in front of it. That should definitely aid when it comes to the stiffness of this chassis. Up top, we have a BMW badge as well. We can take a step back. You can take a look at the front styling one last time and continue along for this wheel and tire setup. Also, really beautiful BMW M individual rims. They're going to be wrapped in 225/40 R19 Bridgestone Turenza all-season tires. So pretty aggressive compound. As far as the brakes, they're just going to be these dual pistons up front. We're not going to get the Brembos, but still very nice rims. I love the black contrast with the aluminum on the outside. But as we move along, as far as this mirror, you got this beautiful LED strip for the turn signal. The glass itself is not going to be the largest, but it fills up the frame pretty well, and you do get blind spot monitoring. The window trim is going to all be blacked out. We're not going to have any shiny chrome on this 430i. But again, this is the 2022 BMW 430i xDrive convertible. Base price is going to be sitting right above $55,000. What do we get for that? Of course, this $550 paint, beautiful metallic gray. I don't know if you can pick up the metallic in this pretty shady area, but it's definitely a nice, beautiful paint color. For $400, we get the Shadowline package. That blacks out our mirror caps, gives us the M Shadowline lights, and we get the extended Shadowline trim. For $3,200, it's going to be labeled twice. We get the variable sport steering, M Sport package, which gives the 19-inch rims, Sensitech dashboard, oak matte finished wood trim, beautiful wood trim. We'll see that in the interior. LED fog lights, M Sport suspension, M steering wheel, amazing steering wheel, Shadowline exterior trim. But that's about it when it comes to packages. We are going to get a couple additional options, such as this Live Cockpit Pro with navigation. That's going to run you about $750, as well as a couple just small options right here. But after about $1,000 destination charge, expect a total vehicle price to sit right above $61,000. As far as standard features, you can take a look at them right over here. This vehicle does have quite a few. Very nice sound system, very powerful 255 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. The engine is going to make 295 pound-feet of torque as well, enough to get this car to 60 in around 5.5 seconds. As far as fuel economy, expect to get around 27 mpgs, 23 city, 33 highway. Very solid fuel economy for this very powerful sport luxury convertible. But continuing along, of course, we're going to have smart access for the driver and the front passenger. The gas tank is going to be pushed to open. We're not going to have easy fill, unfortunately, but you can simply just open it up right here, and a minimum of 89 octane fuel is recommended. But anyway, continuing down here, we can check out the rear wheel and tire setup. These are going to be also Bridgestone Alenza tires. The compound is still going to be 225/40 R19, but we're going to have a single piston brake caliper in the rear. As far as the rear end styling, we got the LED tail lights with the turn signal and the reverse lights right over here. 430i badge. We're not going to have the X on this side. The xDrive is going to be labeled right over here. BMW badge. Shout out BMW of Wesley Chapel. You have the rear view camera as part of the badge. But taking a step back, we are going to get the parking sensors out rear, additional air curtain over here as well. But as far as the exhaust tips, they're going to have a black trim on the outside. It's going to fit pretty flushly. And let's rev up this 2-liter turbocharged engine and really hear how it sounds. Alright guys, that was of course the sound of the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder sold by BMW for this 430i. One of the better sounding turbo 4s in the business, that's for sure. To open it up, I keep forgetting there's no actual latch. You just pull the latch on the inside twice and it opens it up completely. But here you have it. Here's your twin power turbo 4-cylinder engine making 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. More than likely underrated given the fact that this car can get to 60 around 5.5 seconds. You got these really stiff strut tower braces going from your chassis to your strut tower. And that's about it. You can take a look at the dual supports right up front in front of your intercooler. This chassis is probably really stiff and impressive, even though this is a convertible. But we can take a step back after we shut this trunk or hood. But you can take a look at the front styling one last time. But that's about it. Let's take a step over here and check out the interior on this 2022 BMW 430i xDrive convertible. So stepping inside, as far as the door panel, you can see the stitching up top. Here's your Sensitech. It's going to be contrast stitched with the silver trim. Memory seats, very nice. You got the leather right down here and a very soft leather armrest. Power one touch for all 4 windows. Yes, we're going to have 4 windows since these windows do fall to aid your convertible top. And you're gonna have your 4-way adjustable mirrors. They're gonna be power folding mirrors as well. And you can press this button right back here and it will drop all 4 windows at once. The leather trim continues for the grab handle. This bottom portion over here, it's not gonna be lined with felt, but very solid storage. I would expect you to fit at least a foot long in there and easily fit a big gulp right here. It's just the angle. You might be spilling a little bit of it. You can pop the trunk with this button right here. As we step inside, you see your M little nameplate. It's just going to be a silver aluminum. There's going to be a blue sticker on it since this is a brand new vehicle. Let the owner take all the stickers off once this vehicle is purchased. As far as the seats, very soft headrests too. Everything's going to be contrast stitched. One of the softer headrests in the business. The seats more than supportive enough. You got your bolstering supports right down here. Perforation for the whole back area, very nice. If you do get the heated and cooled seats. Down here, more perforation. You have the adjustable thigh support right here. That's very nice for taller passengers with long legs. But the seats, I'm very impressed with them overall. They're going to be fully adjustable with 4-way lumbar control, and you have aluminum controls for the seats. But taking a step inside this 2022 430i, we can really check it out. First thing we notice is the steering wheel is going to be unbelievably thick, one of the thickest steering wheels in the business. Super fat bolstering notch right here, making the 10 and 2 very supported. Just about perfect 9 and 3, very nice spot for your finger, and it does cave in for the rest of your hand back here. No flat bottom, but still one of the best steering wheels in the business. You're gonna have some leather trim outlining your horn area too. As far as the horn, you gotta press it kind of hard, but it's still gonna be very aggressive. People will definitely get out of your way. Cruise control settings right over here, and you can adjust the infotainment right here with the voice commands and the call settings right here. And you can also adjust the volume of the music, and you can skip the songs right over here. As far as the heads-up screen, I personally love it. I think it looks great with the 160-mile-an-hour speedometer digital speeder right here. You can see the map in the middle and about a 6,400 RPM tach right here. You can see your coolant temperature outside, what mode we're currently in, the town we're currently in, and the time. Time's not accurate, but you can see how much fuel's left right over here. Traffic sign recognition over here as well. It's just that the display, it's not very adjustable. You can adjust like the media information right here. You can see what station you're currently listening to. You can see what song you're currently playing as well. But that's really about it when it comes to adjustability. When you adjust the drive modes too, you can adjust between comfort and eco, and it does change up a little bit, but not by much. The biggest difference, of course, is going to be that you see the power delivery, battery life on this screen over here versus the tach. You press comfort, you get your tach back. You press sport, and you get a little bit more red for the tach. But that's about it. As far as the screen over here, it's just gonna be the standard 430i screen. You got the navigation over here, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, some of the best response in the business. That's actually unbelievably responsive, basically like an iPhone. Definitely a thumbs up for BMW for this 2022 iDrive system. As far as the vehicle settings, you can see driving information, vehicle status, overall settings, carrying car, not quite sure what that is. Let's see what that gives you. So you can see your Vitalize and Relax. I guess that's going through your audio system. But as far as the settings themselves, you can adjust between general. So general gives you the date and time, personal assistance, units, sound, which allows you to adjust treble, bass, and the balance of it. You got the speed warning. You can adjust it at like 75 miles an hour. You can adjust it at 4 miles per hour, depending on your personal driving style. You also have engine sound. You can adjust that between the driving mode, or you can have it permanently sporty, balanced, or reduced, depending on what kind of a driver you personally are. But we can get out of here. Pretty cool settings. You can adjust the drive modes over here between Sport, Eco, Pro, and you can have individual settings too. Exterior lighting, driver assistance. You can adjust the displays over here. Let's see how you can adjust it. So you can see your driving mode view. You can turn that on and off. As far as the instrument panel, you can adjust converted speed addition information, speed limit assistance, but that's about it. Control display, you can adjust the brightness at night. But that's about it for the adjustments. Interior lighting, climate control, key button settings, and that's about it. My personal favorite is probably just look at the map at all times. Continuing down, we have our vents. They're probably blowing into the microphone pretty loudly. Hope you can still hear the audio pretty well. Automatic climate control. You can see your 360 sensing system right up top next to your hazard lights. We're not gonna have heated or cooled seats, unfortunately. Here are your presets. Kind of looks like a CD player style, but we're not gonna have a CD player, of course. The volume control, pretty light, but it does have a very satisfying click. This trim down here, it's gonna be true wood. Very nice. It comes in your M Sport package trim. I'll try to position the camera so you can see this wood trim over here for this cover. It is going to be genuine with graining. I like the aluminum here too. I like how it kind of like swivels like a roller coaster rail. Pretty cool design. And this area back here is going to be soft touch leather for your knee will often hit. 2 cup holders. You're not going to have wireless charging, but this is where the wireless charger would be if it was equipped. The cup holders are rubberized. You have a USB port right here and 12 volt right down there. Not going to be a cigarette lighter, but it does kind of have like a cigarette lighter style to it. To get the gear selected right here for your 8-speed auto transmission, you simply press this button right here, pull it back, you're in drive, push it forward, you're in reverse. And as far as the backup camera, absolutely beautiful resolution. You get the 360 sensing system on the side. Very nice guidance markers and trajectory, and it does yell at you once you start getting close to the objects. But once you put it back into park, you'll see that we're going to stay in the rear view camera. That's been one of my only complaints with BMWs. I absolutely love driving these cars. It's just why when I put it back into park am I still looking at the backup camera? And it will stay there forever. It will not change until I put the car back into the home screen. So that's my only complaint with this car so far, but it definitely makes me scratch my head why that's the case. Right here you can turn off the traction control, turn off the parking sensors, turn off your auto start stop. Right here you have your engine start stop button. Pretty nice aluminum. It integrates pretty well. If you're new to the BMWs, you may kind of be looking around for the start stop button for a little while. I definitely was my first time, but it's going to be right over here. We got the Sport Comfort Eco Pro auto hold parking brake, and this is going to be how you open and close your convertible. I'll show you guys right over here how the convertible opens and closes, but you simply pull it back and it's going to close, push it down, and it's going to open. And of course, when it opens, all the windows close. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now, but anyway, continuing back, we have a very soft center console. It's not going to have any contrast stitching over here, but opening it up, very solid space. You could definitely fit a 6-pack in here. You got a USB-C port in there as well. Very solid use of space, very soft console for an armrest. Over here, the aluminum trim continues and the genuine wood also continues. The Sensitech dashboard is going to be up here too, very soft touch with contrast stitching as well, and the speaker right back here. As far as the glove box, you can pull this latch right here and it falls down. It's going to be lined with felt, very solid space, easily going to fit at least like 12-15 license plates in there. Hope you can pick it up. But shutting that up right there, as far as the mirror, it's going to be frameless, auto dimming as well. Right here we got SOS lighting controls for the interior. To the left you have your headlight controls and fog lights and the parking lights also. And of course we're going to get auto headlights. We're going to have rain sensing wipers too. Very nice features. But that's about it for the front seat of this 2022 430 xDrive i. Let's hop out back and see how much space is offered back there, as well as the quality of the materials. All right, guys, hop into the back seat of the 430i. Behind my seat settings, I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm gonna sit behind my settings right here. And as you see, it's not very easy getting back here, but putting this thing back, before it starts moving back, of course, it looks like we have a lot of legroom, but once it returns to my original seat settings, you'll see, oh, okay. So I do have a little bit of space for my knees, plenty of space for my feet, actually a surprising amount. Very comfortable area over here too. We're not gonna have a middle seat. This area is gonna function as a little bolstering extension, definitely keeping your rear passengers in place pretty well. We got 2 cup holders. You got the top tier child latches right back over here. As far as this little center cubby area, there's not gonna be a string to open it up. It's actually gonna be pretty tough. It might not open, this might just be a pass-through. But anyway, here's your back seat area. We got 2 cargo nets behind the driver and the passenger, and you are gonna have a 3rd zone climate. I was not expecting that at all, but this vehicle does come equipped with a 3rd zone climate control for the back seat, as well as 2 USB-Cs. Definitely a thumbs up. Surprisingly impressive back seat space in this 2022 430i. But let's check out the trunk real quick and then take this car out for a drive. And as you see, it's taking a step out here. It's actually not that bad. It's definitely significantly easier than my Camaro because the front seat definitely slides and goes back to its original place for you. But let's check out the trunk real quick. Remember, this is gonna be a convertible, which is gonna take up a little bit of the trunk space. Pulling this latch right here, we can take a look at the overall space. It is gonna be a power hydraulically opening trunk. But as you see, we're not gonna have a whole lot of space. The convertible top is definitely gonna be taken up quite a bit, but it does go in pretty deeply. You can fit probably a decent amount of stuff. It's just be careful stacking it up because it doesn't really go very high. But here you have it. You have a little bit of additional storage right over here, 2 additional nets on the side. here as well. But what you see is what you get. You can shut it up right here. We can take a step back, take a look at the rear styling one last time. But that's about it for the exterior and exterior of this 2022 430i xDrive. Let's take it out for a drive. All right, guys, now we just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 BMW 430i xDrive convertible. Let's take it out for a drive. We're gonna have the top up the entire time for the purpose of audio quality. But we'll start off in comfort mode, transition into sport, and see what the overall differences are. But my first complaint is the window sticker is on the passenger side window. That's not a complaint for BMW, of course. That's a complaint for the prep department of the dealership that I got the review at. But not a serious complaint. It's just for the future. Like if you have a two-door sports car, the window sticker is probably better to be like laminated or something, so you can just leave it on the dashboard. But definitely not a big complaint, just like one of the first things I noticed. But in comfort mode, we could take a step right over here. Pretty solid throttle response. It'll definitely get better in sport, but the steering is very light, much lighter than it would be in sport. Right here we have a speed bump, boom. You don't really feel much, and the interior is super quiet. We have the floor mats in a box back there, so this can be rattling around a little bit. That's not gonna be the car rattling, just a heads up. But still super quiet interior and very good throttle response. In comfort mode, when we lean into the gas a little bit, we go to about 2,500 RPM, so not that sensitive in comfort mode. We'll see what the differences are in sport, but those are my first impressions in comfort. But all right, guys, taking a step out onto this multiple lane highway in comfort mode, we lean into it about halfway. Ooh, once the boost kicks in, we go to about 5,000 RPM. Wow, that's way faster than I thought. This vehicle can get you in some trouble because you have a very quiet cabin. You don't really feel a lot of road noise, and that turbocharged engine has a very smooth power delivery. You look down and you're going over the speed limit by quite a bit. But now that we're just cruising around 55 miles an hour on this multiple lane highway, you hear basically no wind noise, little tiny bit of road noise, but very quiet interior. Passing power, don't even have to downshift. Around 1,500 RPM, we can gain 5 miles an hour basically instantly. All right, guys, taking a step right here, we'll try this car out in sport mode and see what the overall differences are. Leaning into it a little bit. Whew. Once you cross like 2,500 RPM, this thing moves. And you do hear a little bit more exhaust to the cabin. I'll try to do an acceleration where I'm not talking, so you guys can pick it up a little bit better, but very impressive torque. All right, guys, we can take a little U-turn right here to see this vehicle's turning radius. Pretty impressive, all the way on the gas. Wow. Don't have to push it a whole lot farther than that. This is a very fast car. This engine almost has to be significantly underrated. I would probably argue that this engine is closer to like 255 horsepower at the wheels, making it closer to like 300 plus horsepower at the crank. Really impressive engine. And the steering, very quick. My only complaint with the steering is that it feels slightly artificially heavy when you're in sport mode. It's pretty quick for the turn in, but when going back into place, I kind of feel like it could be a little bit delayed at times. So let's try out these paddle shifters really quick. Third gear, second gear. Really instant. Wow, pretty solid paddle shifters. And yeah, we get to pretty serious speeds very quickly. We can put it right back into just regular comfort mode. See how we are on this multiple lane highway. All right, guys, out here in the 430i, you can see this vehicle from a first-hand perspective. Very good power. Leaning into it right here. Whew. This thing can definitely get to very fast speeds. I hope you can pick it up through the camera. But all right, guys, I want to show you first-hand acceleration in this 430 xDrive. Hopefully we're not going to get in that guy's way, but right here off the line on the gas, a little bit of turbo lag, but it gets the speeds really quickly. All right, guys, one more time, leaning into about halfway. Really like the engine note, and even on half throttle we get the speeds really quickly. We shift around 4,500 RPM at half throttle, but you still feel every single ounce of that 295 pound-feet of torque. Really impressive motor. And all right, throwing it in right here a little bit faster than we should. Whew, the handling is pretty sharp. No understeer. I was expecting at least a little bit, and right back out. Whew, really quick car. Even on half throttle, it just downshifts and just goes. Other than that, guys, that's about it for this 2022 BMW 430i xDrive convertible. We didn't do any top-down driving on camera for audio quality purposes, but I'll mention it in the video. I'll show you guys a clip of what this car looks like with the top down. Really beautiful design. Obviously, it looks a lot better with the top down than with the top up, but if we're driving around with the top down, you guys probably wouldn't hear much of anything other than the wind. Other than that, super impressive car, unbelievably luxurious. You got high quality materials literally everywhere you touch. One minor complaint, I would like to throw one more in. The cup holder protrudes a little bit too much. My leg, when it's leaning against the door frame, I feel like the cup holder is poking out a little bit too much. But again, that's like ridiculously nitpicky of a complaint. Unbelievable car. I truly love BMWs. They're one of my favorite cars all around, and they're pretty good value too, considering the luxury. Around 55,000 bucks for the base price. Every material you're touching is gonna be high quality. You can do 0 to 60 around 5 seconds. It's a beautiful car, convertible. But other than that, huge thank you to Wesley Chapel BMW in Wesley Chapel, Florida, for making this review possible. Unbelievably kind staff, really impressive inventory. I'll leave a link to it below. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know this channel is just not possible without the subscribers, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for your constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. That really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any vehicles you'd like me to review in this channel too. And I'll definitely try to get those for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.